Yo, yo. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, freedom marchers, freedom family, freedom lovers, and freedom fighters. Snapzilla Gorilla here, hitting y'all with this live stream where we're going to get into a reality that many people aren't aware of and believe is a form of fiction, but it really is not. And we're going to talk about how this affected Texas and how it's actually affecting the Southeast right now. All right, we're going to talk about that in this here live stream. Now, everything that I tell you is based on, this is going to be speculation, right? What I'm going to say is speculation based on real world facts. Okay, real world facts. Particularly how scientists, dating all the way back to World War I and World War II, discovered a way to manipulate the weather. Okay, this is reality. Back then, it was basically a simple form of cloud seeding, where they would release certain chemicals in the atmosphere and create clouds and create rain and all these things. This is a reality. Okay, weather manipulation is a reality. It's not conspiracy theories, none of that. These are things that you guys can go look up. And as a matter of fact, well, I can't do it this weekend because going out of town with the family. So we're going to the beach this weekend, so I can't do it this weekend. But at some point, I am going to. I have a long laundry list of things I want to show you guys. Okay, but you guys can look this up yourself. Fact check. Don't take my word for it. The government and the scientists that work for the government all over the world know how to manipulate the weather. And it started, like I said, with simple forms of cloud seeding by releasing particulates into the air, right? But this was like low atmosphere. So low atmosphere cloud seeding that created rainstorms and all these different things. They know how to do it. They can do it, and they will do it, and they're doing it up until this day. Okay? So this is a reality. Now, what does this have to do with Texas? Well, Texas got a lot of rain and got a lot of flash flooding that led to a lot of tragic deaths. We're talking about 70 plus deaths, 27 of which 27 of those deaths were of little girls at a camp in Texas, right? And some counselors. So a lot of people died in these floods. And during that camping trip for those little girls, I mean, it was just like, if you saw the pictures of the cabins, it's pretty interesting how quickly that flood overtook them. We're talking about flash flooding. It takes a lot of rain to dump, right? It takes a lot of rain to create that type of flash flood where it kills that many people, because it has to be so sudden and so torrential, spontaneously, basically, that
watch out, vehicle on shoulder.
No one had time to get away from it. No one had time to react. They were screwed, those people. And so this is the type of devastating flooding we're talking about in Texas. Okay, this happened in Texas, of course. But like I said, I have my own suspicions of why this happened, just based on patterns that I've noticed and based on what I've studied in regards to, weather manipulation and all that shit. Because like I said, it started with cloud seeding, low atmosphere cloud seeding, with basically they used crop planes, right? Crop duster planes to create these weather effects that they wanted, right? But yes, Cade, it goes beyond cloud seeding now. It goes beyond that. Man-made weather disaster? It could be. That's what I think it is. So it went from cloud seeding and it has evolved, right? So we have to understand about a little thing about the weather, right? How storms are created and how you can manipulate the ionosphere to move weather systems where you want them to be. And you can concentrate weather systems. You can concentrate them. You can't necessarily create whole weather systems that like tornadoes and hurricanes and things like that. You can't necessarily create them, but you can increase its strength and you can direct them. If you guys go look it up. Go look it up, do the research. Go look at NOAA. I forgot what the acronym stands for. Also, check out Dane Wigington. Dane Wigington, D-A-N-E, Wigington, W-I-G-G-I-N-T-O-N. He has been talking about this for many, many years. And he's had whistleblowers that were a part of different government organizations, whistleblowers from different government organizations, that from NASA and NOAA, right? These different things. And there is documentation. There's research. There are studies. There is demonstrations of these things, right? So when I talk about the ionosphere, what exists in the ionosphere? And this also goes back to Tesla, right? If you guys know who Nikola Tesla is, you know who Nikola Tesla is. All these things are connected, right? Nikola Tesla discovered a way to create free sustainable, perpetual energy by harnessing power and harnessing the energy from the ionosphere. All right. What exists in the ionosphere? Ions. Ions are charged. These are charged ions. All you have to do is create an electromagnetic field to create the energy. You create the electromagnetic field, you get, so I'm an electrician, right? So all you need is a core, and you need something, right? You need an electromagnet that goes around the core. This generates electricity, right? That's the principle. You need an electromagnetic field, though. So if you look at a transformer, if you look at a motor, if you look at a transformer, the transformer has a core, and it has, what it does is you can step voltage up, step voltage down, and you can create more current or downgrade the current using the core in windings. It goes around. It goes around the core and generates the amount of electricity you want. Storms are electric. Storms are electric. And what happens is when you get, let's say a hurricane, you get a low pressure, you get warm weather up, you get warm weather down below and cold weather up top, and then it creates this freaking thing where it charges all this electricity and sucks up all the water, and that's where you get the hurricane from. I'm just trying to be as simple as possible. I'm giving you guys this basics, the basis of this whole situation to help you understand how they manipulate the weather. It's not magic, right? They don't have a Magellan or a wizard in a tower somewhere doing this. They don't have Storm flying around creating, Storm from Marvel, right? From the X-Men. No, they don't need that. All they need to do is create an electromagnetic field, right? Where they can push weather systems around where they want them to. They can push a weather system over here, push it over there. And they can also, because it's not just about releasing particulates into the air, right? It's not just about that. It's also about, because you can spray, like when I lived in Los Angeles, they sprayed the air damn near every day. Damn near every day. And what this would do is create a high pressure dome, right? That would prevent rain clouds from entering into that high pressure dome. Through the chemtrails that they spray. I know you hear chemtrails and they make you think it's ridiculous and conspiracy theory. That's not what it is. Well, what they can also do is use electromagnets. They can use a magnetic field to concentrate a weather system to move it around, right? They can do that. They have done it. They have demonstrated it. You can demonstrate it if you want, right? You take some, let's say you take some water that has minerals and all that stuff, not distilled water, because it's not going to work. You're going to take a glass of water. You're going to take two magnets on either side, and you can see the water start to create a cyclone in the water. It's because of the electromagnetic field. So they use electromagnetic fields to move weather systems around. Now, do I know for a fact they did this in Texas? No, I don't. It's just a belief I have based on the facts and based on the research I've done years ago when I started getting interested in weather manipulation. And what inspired me to look into that was, like I said, Dane Wigington, right? And I started to notice things, and I fact checked them. I looked into these things, and also I looked into the things that the Fullerton Informer was talking about, because he talks about weather manipulation as well, right? So, and there are facts behind what they say, and there's research behind what they say, whistleblowers and all that other shit. Why do I think that they did this in Texas? Well, why just Texas? Why just Texas? I know this weather has affected other states, but not like it did Texas. It was concentrated. It was concentrated in Texas. It sat there in Texas, and it dumped a whole bunch of rain. Just like a few years ago in the Midwest. You remember that? There were a bunch of derechos out there in the Midwest that killed millions of cattle in flooding. It just hit the Midwest, and that was it. See, weather systems move around. They don't just stand there for days and days and weeks and months and just stay there. No, they move around, they change, you know what I mean? They go to different places, they disperse. These things are concentrated when these things happen. Look at last year when we had that hurricane that went all the way up to Asheville, North Carolina. The hurricane flipped upside down, became an atmospheric hurricane, and moved to Asheville, North Carolina, and sat there. That's not what weather does naturally. It's just not. You don't. Hurricanes don't get flipped on top of the. You know what I'm saying? It was a hurricane in the atmosphere. Unprecedented. That far from the coast. Asheville, North Carolina is damn near by the mountains, in the Appalachian Mountains. It's damn near right there. You mean to tell me that the hurricane, which typically goes up the East Coast, but this was a Gulf, right? This was a hurricane out of the Gulf. So yeah, it makes sense that, okay, it might not go up the eastern seaboard, but how would it travel all the way up to Asheville, North Carolina, and sit there? Do you know what they were doing? There was in North Carolina. But what they were doing was they were mining for cobalt and whatnot for semiconductors. There is a mine in Asheville, North Carolina. You live in Asheville? How's it going out there, VMO? Salute to y'all in the chat. Thank you guys for coming through. I appreciate you guys. Please hit the like button. There's 113 people up in here. Please hit the like button. Please, if you guys, or hit the downvote button. It don't matter. Please hit the like button. That's insidious that y'all only got two likes. Oh, cloud seeding. I'm already knowing about cloud seeding. Cloud seeding was the basic. That was their first. That was the very first way they discovered how to manipulate the weather. That's basic. Now they are into creating electromagnetic fields to steer weather systems. Right? They will steer a weather system from one place to another. They can halt weather systems. They can redirect weather systems. They can do all that. No like button? There's a like button, but it's okay. Or you can tap the screen twice. That's a like. If you tap the screen, double tap the screen, that's a like. They can do these things. Look it up. Don't take my word for it, though. If I sound like a nutty goddamn conspiracy theorist, that's okay. But at least do the fact checking. They can do it. I'm not going to get into CERN. Y'all heard about CERN and all that, but, you know, when you start talking about CERN, it gets a little, you're talking about opening the gates, the demon gates and all that. I don't even want to talk about all that. What I'm talking about is, it doesn't take a whole lot. All you need is enough energy to create the electromagnetic field that you want to use to move the weather systems. Right? Yes, it's weather manipulation. So why am I talking about? So what does the Southeast have to do with it? Well, for the past 3 weeks, we were supposed to get a shitload of rain. We were supposed to have days and 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 days of rain. Starting on Wednesday. It's rained the last 2 weeks. We got maybe 1 or 2 days of sprinkles. Right? If you look at the radar, well, you can see that they're talking about this hurricane that they were supposed to have over here. Or Hurricane Lamont, or whatever the fuck they called it. Well, where'd that motherfucker go? We were supposed to get a shitload of rain in the last 2-3 weeks. Right here in the Southeast. Including South Carolina, Georgia. But it didn't happen. But you know where they got a lot of rain at? In Texas. I know, I sound like a nut basket. I know, I sound crazy. I know. Why Texas, though? I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know why Texas. But I do know that 70 plus people died altogether. And I think there's still people missing. But those girls at that camp, they're all gone, including the counselors. They had no chance. But I don't know why. I can't right now. I need to look at what's going on in Texas. Like what event happened in Texas? Is something? Is there some type of special thing going on in Texas? That's what I need to look into. But I do know in Asheville, North Carolina, they had to shut down that mine. They had to shut down the mine because we are trying to build our own semiconductors right here in the United States and not have to rely on foreign nations to get the material for semiconductors to create microchips and things like that. But think about it, y'all. I don't know if any of you guys live in the Southeast. You know, Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina. What happened to all the rain that we were supposed to get? What happened to it? We were supposed to get a shitload of rain. Well, what I believe, right, and I don't care if I sound crazy or not, what I believe is that they snatched the motherfucking rain that we were supposed to get, sent that shit all the way to Texas, and sat it there. That's what I think happened. Just like a couple years ago, same shit happened. I think it was 2022 or 2023. It rained a lot in 2022. 2023, we were supposed to get a shitload of rain. Same shit happened. It didn't come and went to goddamn the Midwest and dumped a shitload of rain and killed a bunch of cattle. Killed a bunch of livestock. Just like the following year, the heat wave killed the cows too. Do you get what I'm saying? What is there a lot of in Texas? There's a lot of cattle. Now I need to look into see if there was a lot, because they're talking about the people that died. I don't hear them talking about or see them talking about any livestock dying. But if 70 humans died, then it stands to reason that a bunch of animals died too. I need to look into that. I am driving. What do you think I'm doing? You know, y'all funny with this drive shit. Stay on my meds. I don't take meds, but it's okay. Yeah, I know I sound crazy. See, it would sound crazy for people that just go with big media narrative and don't do their own research and don't fact check. and don't try to listen to voices that aren't bought and paid for by the bank ran government. It's okay. Y'all can think I'm crazy. I know I came on here. I understood that I might sound crazy in the motherfucker. It's okay. I don't care. Don't read and drive, please. Okay. Don't write while I'm driving. See, that very simple. If you're concerned about me driving and reading, then don't write in the chat. It's as simple as that. Marzent says you are not crazy. I know I'm not, but I can look like I'm crazy. It's okay. Cloud seeding is real, and I'm with you, bro. Oh, for sure. Cloud seeding, yes, cloud seeding is real, and they do still cloud seed. They release particulates in the air to create high pressure domes to prevent and make and help them move weather systems around. They do that, yes, but it's not just cloud seeding. Cloud seeding is, like I said, it's old. It's that was the very beginning. That was back in World War I, World War II. They did it during Vietnam, where they released days and days of typhoons on North Vietnam. This is what they do, man. Yeah, I know I sound crazy. It's okay. But cloud seeding was just the beginning. They can do all kinds of things with electromagnetic fields. Electromagnetic fields in the ionosphere is a powerful mixture. Lee McGilty says, is God? Wake up. It might be God, but God is not directly putting his hands on things, right? He is allowing things. So if you believe in God and you understand, and you believe in the religions that have their idea about God, everything is about free will. God allows free will to occur, but he knows everything that's going to happen, and he allows it to happen, right? And things happen like it. So if God is doing this, it's because the people that are doing this are part of God as well, if that makes sense. God created everyone in his own image. Every living thing was created in God's image. So even the bad people that do bad things are from God. Oh, he didn't give us free will? Okay. You're right. I ain't rich enough, Izzy. You're absolutely right. God does have free will. He has the freest of wills. But the thing is that God does not interfere with human existence. It doesn't interfere with living things in the world. So everything that happens, I'm talking about if you believe in certain aspects of what God is. Me, I am not exalted enough to even begin to understand what God is and what God is doing and why he's doing this and why he's doing that. But based on certain religions, God gave us free will. So if you're saying that, this is happening because of God, well, you're right and wrong at the same time. It's happening because of God, because God created all things. And all the things that God created does is because of God. If you want to say that, that's cool. But at the same time, if we have free will, including animals and plants and every living thing, then we are also the reason for things happening in the world. Right? One thing leads to another. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Simply because it does. Right? That is a universal law. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So when they discovered that they can use electromagnetic fields to manipulate the weather, what did it lead to? It led them to moving and manipulating whole weather systems. Izzy says not weather machines. It wouldn't be considered a weather machine. I just told you what they needed. Who are they? The government. Who are they? So, I know. That's a question you ask a conspiracy theorist. Oh, who is they? The government. The elite class. The people that pull the strings that, hide behind the government. That control the government and do what they want. That's who. Think about this. When Louisiana was wiped out by Hurricane Katrina, and the aftermath occurred and all that other shit, what happened? The rich folks started buying up all the land for hella cheap down there. And now they're making money because they're rebuilding. Well, who in their right mind would buy any property in Louisiana knowing that a hurricane, a level 5 hurricane, or a stage 5, whatever the fuck they call it, can come through and wipe that motherfucker off. Wipe it off the map. Who would do that? Who would go and buy all that stuff? Like, even if you buy for dirt cheap now, you still have to spend money to build it up. You still have to spend money to maintain it. Well, why would you do that if you know that another hurricane can just come wipe that motherfucker off the planet? Yes, Marsnet says CERN. Yes, CERN. Why? Well, you got to look at category 5. Thank you. We got fish, or I can't really read y'all comment if it's anyway. You get what I'm saying? Yes, category 5. Thank you. Yeah, CERN. Right. CERN, like I said, it's an it is an energy system that can create an electromagnetic field. If you can see, electromagnetic fields are powerful. Did y'all know that the only thing protecting us from the millions of solar flares that hit the earth every day, or that come toward the earth, is an electromagnetic field that surrounds the planet? If you believe in the science. Some people believe that the earth is flat and that there's a firmament, right? And then above the firmament is a bunch of water. There's people that believe that. And then if you believe that, then you're not going to believe that we have an electromagnetic field that surrounds the earth that protects us from the radioactive energy from the sun. So an electromagnetic field that surrounds the earth is powerful enough to prevent a bunch of goddamn radioactive solar flares from hitting the planet. Powerful, right? God damn it. Or a solar storm. Now, can the sun shoot off a solar flare powerful enough to penetrate the electromagnetic field? Yes, but it hasn't happened yet. What I'm trying to say is that once you discover how to harness the energy in the ionosphere, you can do a lot of things with it. You can do a lot of things, right? So my position, based on what I know and based on certain things, right? You might say it's a post hoc fallacy, and it might be, because I don't know this for a fact. You can say it's a post hoc fallacy that we were supposed to get all this rain in the southeast and it didn't happen, and then all of a sudden a bunch of rain is getting dumped on Texas. And you can take those two things and you can say, well, we know they know how to manipulate the weather. We know they know how to steer weather systems. We know they know how to strengthen weather systems. Does it make sense that maybe they used this technology and used this knowledge to move all the atmospheric river, if you want to say it, the atmospheric river that was supposed to bring rain to the southeast and distribute it evenly and not just dump in one area? That was supposed to move. Weather systems move, and they change, and they may even change directions on their own. But they don't just sit there and sit. They move. They go to different places, right? You have clearing winds that come through after it's dumped the rain, and the clearing winds move the fucking clouds out of the way, and they move them in a different location, and they reconcentrate and they dump more rain somewhere else. No, that has not happened here, right? What happened instead? Well, that shit went to Texas and sat there. That's what happened. Marcy T, salute to you. She said, you guys are in the middle of this war, and you won't see boots on the ground. That's what I'm saying. You won't see boots on the ground until they come collect the dead carcasses. Exactly. And that's what they're doing in Texas right now. Salute to Marcy T. Y'all go check out her channel. Marcy T, make sure you drop your link. So you think for a plan of gentrification? Gentrification? Man, gentrification, it might be that. You might want to say that what happened in Louisiana during Hurricane Katrina may have been some form of gentrification. But again, I mean, yeah, you can say that. But it depends on where it's happening. And you got to look at the events. You got what's going on in Texas right now. Well, I told you guys what was going on in Asheville before Asheville got wiped out. Asheville still ain't recovered. And that mine in Asheville still hasn't recovered. And I don't think it'll ever open up again. That was one of the only mines we had that we could extract the material for semiconductors that were active. There might be more, but they're not, there might be more in America, but they're not using them right now. I mean, it's okay. I'm not just, saying this shit because I feel like it. It's my opinion, and it's purely conjecture based on what I know. And there are a number of things that I know. I know the government is corrupt, and they will lie, cheat, steal, kill. They will eat their own to achieve an agenda. That's one thing I know. Another thing that I know is that they have the resources, the funds, and the technology to manipulate the weather in multiple ways. Not just cloud seeding. Electromagnetic field manipulation. Ionic sphere manipulation. They can create high pressure domes. They can use electromagnetic fields to move weather systems, to halt them, to concentrate them, and make them stronger. They can make them sit there for days and days and days and create as much damage and devastation as possible. These are, and here's another thing I know. It was supposed to rain. We were supposed to get a whole lot of rain in the southeast over a period of weeks. Didn't happen. And now we got all this shit going on in Texas. All these floods. So, because I don't trust the government, because I'm a little paranoid, yes I am a little paranoid. And I feel like it's a healthy paranoia. So I'm giving you guys an understanding of where I'm coming from. It's that, this is me. I don't trust the government. I think the government would use their technology to create all this flooding in Texas. I think they would do that. I think they would. I believe it. Marcy T, tell me about it. Yeah, there's quite a few bots. Marcy, if you feel like someone's a bot, you can go ahead and get rid of them if you think they're a bot. But why? I don't know. Texas in particular, I can't tell you right now. But if it's all about looking at current affairs, right? Or look at what's going on. In Asheville, like I said, they had a mine that they used to extract material for a semiconductor. In the Midwest, they use all that all that flooding, wiped out a lot of cattle, a lot of livestock. And the same thing might be happening in Texas. There's a lot of livestock in Texas. Texas has a lot of livestock. But you just have to look at what may have happened and what damage it might have caused. Look at what's the most devastating thing that occurred outside of loss of life. Because we know loss of life, that's the most devastating. But aside from loss of life, what other devastating events have occurred, or what thing was stopped because of this? And that might be the reason. You know what I'm saying? They didn't do it for no reason. So that's something I had to look into. Did I ever get checked for schizophrenia? No. But I did see a child psychologist who diagnosed me as uncorrigible. I think they call it something else now. I think they call it something to do with anti-authority or some shit like that. That's from what I understand. I don't know. Who's they? I don't know why. What do you mean who's they? The government. The government. The government. Who does that benefit? Which occurrence? Think about it. So let's say, who does it benefit if they wipe out millions of livestock in a flood? It benefits the government because you have to rely on the government, right? You have to rely on the government for your food supply chain, as opposed to if a bunch of farmers and ranchers are providing an alternative to big food crap, right? Like big sugar and industrial seed oil complex. Well, if you provide people an alternative to all that garbage, and you can save them money because they are now eating whole ingredients, and you can get a cow. So I have a family of 8, and half a cow can last my family a year, and I can pay $2,000. $2,000 for half a cow. I can get a whole cow, and that'll last my family for 2 years if I have a nice deep freezer. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, it's saving a lot of money. That's a 1,000 pounds of meat or something like that. So if more people are deciding not to buy the sugar shit, not to buy the industrial seed oil shit, not to buy this crap and that crap, cellulose, bamboo-based cellulose burgers and all that shit. Well, you're buying directly from the rancher. You're cutting the middleman out. Well, Big Food is a special interest group. They lobby, right? They lobby with the politicians to make things happen for them. So that would be the benefit for those groups, for the special interest group. And then also Big Pharma, because if you eat a bunch of crap, it makes you sick. And Big Pharma loves you to be sick because it keeps their wheels turning. It keeps that machine going. It keeps the gears grinding. You see what I'm saying? So that is a benefit for that. And as far as destroying the mine for the semiconductors, well, there are a lot of special interest groups that deal with imports and exports that might get a lot of shit from Taiwan, right? It's like the beers. Think about it. If a group controls the market for semiconductor material, then they can charge what they want. As opposed to if we start mining for the material for semiconductors right here in the United States, you open up different mines. Well, what that does is it expands the market, makes it more competitive, makes it cheaper. Whereas if you control the market because you control the material, you control the resources, then you can charge what you want. It's the same thing with diamonds. You know, De Beers owned 75% of the world's diamonds before they started making them in factories and shits. You can make diamonds in a warehouse. You can make diamonds in a lab. So it kind of reduces the value, but De Beers, if De Beers controls the market for diamonds, they can charge what they want for it. They can market how they want. They can market the diamonds, right? Diamonds are forever. Diamonds are a girl's best friend and all that shit. That was all De Beers. De Beers gets 75 to 80% of the diamonds, and they control the market. So if you start, if you discover diamonds in another country, let's say we had diamonds right here in the United States, then you find a diamond mine. We start mining for diamonds. That cuts into their market. You're making it more competitive. You can sell the diamonds for cheaper. It's simple. Same thing with the semiconductor material in Asheville, the cobalt. Well, if we start mining for cobalt, we can be competitive with the companies that trade with Taiwan to get the semiconductors. It's very simple math. It's very simple business. You cut out your competition using the government. Same thing with all the chicken farms and the fires and all this other shit. The explosions and killing all these chickens. Oh, the bird flu. Oh, yeah. Oh, you got one bird that's sick. Let's kill them all. You got one sick bird out of 100. They want you to kill all the birds. No, you don't isolate the bird. You don't kill that one bird. No, you got to kill all of them. Or kill half of them. Right? They tell you to kill half your chicken. What's the point of killing half? What's the logic in that? Is the disease going to say, you know what? I'm only going to wipe out half your chickens. No. The disease is going to infect as many chickens as possible. So why are we only culling half the chickens? It makes no fucking sense. Well, the reason is to make the market less competitive for Zachary Farms, for goddamn Jimmy Dean, all these motherfucking goddamn motherfucking shits. It makes it, well, it's simple. Why would they kill 70 plus people? Why would they kill all these cows and kill all these people in the Midwest? Just to control the market. Well, you just answered the question. You think these people care about your lives? They don't care about your life. They don't care about wiping out people's livelihoods. They don't care about destroying homes and destroying whole towns. It takes almost $1 billion to repair. They don't care about none of that. You think they care about that? They don't care about sending your children to war when they create this bullshit story about Saddam Hussein has weapons of mass destruction. Let's go over there. No, they don't give a fuck about the soldiers they send over. They don't give a fuck about none of that. They're pawns to them. They don't care about y'all. I mean, yes, they will send soldiers to die by the thousands and the people in Iraq to die by the millions so that they can control oil fields. Yes. You think these people have like more complex reasoning than that? They're psychopaths and sociopaths. They will do whatever it takes to control what they want to control, whether they control a market, whether they can control the people. They will kill 7 billion people so that it's easier to control 1 billion. If you don't think that they will do that, then I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. They don't give a shit about you. They don't care about me. They don't care because they think they're in their little ivory towers. They think their family's going to be protected. They don't listen. Steve Jobs did not let his kids have iPads. Right? They will insulate and protect their children from the shit that they want you to have. From the shit they want you to be exposed to. You think Bill Gates eats motherfucking bugs and zucchini for dinner? No. That motherfucker has steaks and lobster. Don't let that motherfucker fool you. These motherfuckers fly around in jets, private jets, wasting all kind of fuel. and tell you that you wasting fuel. Oh, your carbon footprint is too large. Well, these elite class motherfuckers, their footprint, Bill Gates' footprint is larger than the entire state of goddamn Rhode Island. I guarantee you that. They're hypocrites. They want everything that you desire to themselves. Everything that they desire to themselves. And everything that they desire that you don't desire, because it's fucking sick, they want that to themselves. Like your children. They want your children. And they want to control you. Why do they want your children? Because they nasty. These motherfuckers are not good people. So when you ask what benefit it would be, it's not they're not Thanos. These motherfuckers aren't Thanos. Oh, well, we need to wipe out half the universe because we're running out of resources. No, they don't give a shit about none of that. No, they want to wipe out half the planet so that they can have access to all the resources themselves and control everything. Not because it's altruistic. Thanos had an altruistic reason. It was misguided. But in his mind, he saw what happened to his planet. I know we're talking about a fictional character, but think about it. Thanos saw what happened to his planet when he proposed to wipe out half the people on his planet, and they refused, and then the whole planet died. Well, it wasn't because he wanted to have access to all the beef and all the diamonds. No, it's because he wanted to save his planet. And then he wanted to save the universe because he saw the same thing happen to the whole universe. Well, these motherfuckers ain't Thanos. They're not Thanos. They don't give a hot fuck about nobody's resources. No, they want they don't care about none of that. They'll wipe out 2/3 of the planet to control the 1/3 so that they can do what the fuck they want to do. So that they can be Mockingbird and what's that motherfucking shit with Katniss Everdeen? That's the existence they want. They want you in the Hunger Games for their entertainment, and so that they can just dine and wine, and this is what they want. It's very simple. It's very simple. You know what I mean? They don't care about your life. They don't care about my life. They don't care about your children. The only reason they care about their children, the only reason they care about their own children is because they're their future progeny. They have to carry on their bloodline and their legacy. These people are incapable of compassion, you know what I mean? They don't care about any of that, y'all. I just want you guys to understand this. So when you ask me what benefit do they get from weather manipulation, what benefit do they get from destroying states and destroying whole towns and destroying people's lives? Well, because they get more of what they want. It's simple. They can control a market. They can control the people. They can control a lot of different things. That's what they want, and that's what they're going to get. So anyway, I got to get out of here. I'm at work. Thank you guys for coming through. Much love. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you for hitting that like button, and we're going to keep marching forward toward freedom. Peace.